Entertalk Radio, you're in to all things music.
May the best brand win with Scott Robertson's Music Biz Marketing Strategies. Now, here's your host, Scott Robertson.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. You are tuned to May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk Media, the undisputed leader in music biz talk. And I am Scott, your host, and a man who thinks Corona, the city of Corona here in Orange County, Riverside County, is missing a major branding opportunity with this whole coronavirus epidemic. I mean, talk about going viral. Ba-dum-bum. And with me, as always, is my own personal Garth, known as Paul B. Paul B., how's the studio today?
Hanging in there. That was good. That was some good punnery.
There we go. I need I need some sound effects to make my show really hit that next level. To when I hit a joke like that,
we're getting like 3 electronic drums in here sometime. I think in the next week. Well, for next week, I think we're going to be set. We can have like all the pums you could handle.
There you go. I'll be like, and go.
I could do like a whole In the Air Tonight solo for you.
Oh, yeah. So awesome. Man, who did I see that did that at the NAMM Show? It was
probably me.
There was a guy from Roland, and I think it was in the Best in Show thing, and he had that sample plugged into the new Roland drum kits, and he ended up going.
I would have just kept doing it like all day, every day, like all 4 days.
Everybody was laughing. Everybody was laughing
till they shut down our booth.
It's so recognizable, to have that drum, fill is so recognizable. Well, cool. You guys are smart because you tuned into the big show. Who am I? What do I do? How do you reach me? Why are you listening to me? Things like that. So I'm Scott Robertson. I run a public relations firm in Orange County, California, called Robertson Communications. Easy to reach me. You can send me an email to scott@robertsoncom.com. 2 M's like communication, please. And then at Twitter, @RobertsonCom, 2 M's. And then also on Facebook, facebook.com/RobertsonCom. Very easy to find out there. And I love it when people that listen to the show reach out to me, ask me questions, talk to me about what they like, that kind of thing. I get a few of those emails, a week from folks that, hey, I listened to this and, I think this would be a good topic and that kind of stuff. And did you see, people send me stuff and say, did you see this one that's totally losing and totally winning and those kind of things. So I love stuff like that, though. It's fun. I do this show just so I don't have to go to therapy and deal with all the stupid in the world, in the hands of a therapist. So this allows me to sort of vent about it, and then I feel better. And, the world's a safer place, honestly, because I'm doing this show. So also, I'm a certified StoryBrand guide now in Donald Miller's StoryBrand program, so I can create even better brand stories, website wireframes, any kind of writing and stuff with a lot better messaging. If you listen to the show a lot, I'm a big fan of messaging. I'm a huge fan of getting the message right, and I'm a huge fan of stopping all activity until the message is right. So I always say that. I will say that once again today. If you have any questions about your message being right, you should stop. Stop everything. Get it right. Spend the time to get it right. Go back, figure it out, get it right. If you need help, I'm here for you. Contact me. I do that for a price. You know what I mean? So, you were smart because you turned into episode 145 of the show, where we're going to recap the most recent NAMM Show. It's been described as the biggest toy store in the world for musicians and pro audio aficionados. It's also been called the largest collection of bad credit risk ever assembled under one roof. It is the one and only NAMM Show, and this year did not disappoint. We're going to talk about who won, who lost, who introduced new products, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to give you a glance at some of the companies I saw that caught my eye on another potentially Oscar-nominated and award-winning episode of May the Best Brand Win. So anyway, my impressions of the show were and everybody likes to kind of say, like everybody that's been in the industry for a while likes to kind of look around and go, it doesn't feel as crowded as last year, or it doesn't feel, to me, it's not as crowded. It's like, the show being crowded is not a selling point to me. All the people waiting in line, to get Megadeth's, autograph, are better known in my world as In My Way, So it's like it's not something where it's like, oh, the show is crowded and therefore successful. It's successful because it brings together a lot of the right connections that companies need to get their job done, right? And some of those connections are the kind of the looky-loos and the musicians and that kind of thing. And like I said, I love the show. I love walking the show. It's a lot of fun. But I think one of the big reasons, and I'm not a trade show traffic expert or anything, but in my experience, I think it feels more dispersed. I don't, than it used to, because NAMM opened up a new hall, right? And that takes a lot of people out of the other hall. And then also the campus feel, the whole campus there's people buzzing around the whole campus the whole time. And so I don't think you can make a judgment and go, well, there's not as many people on the floor. It's like, well, they're probably there, but they may not be right where you are at that time. And don't forget, there's also 2 other levels of the Anaheim Convention Center that were very highly trafficked and those kind of things. So I don't know. The best measure of a trade show is, in my opinion, did we meet with the people we needed to meet with? Is that a cost savings for us to be able to kind of do that? Did we elevate the brand? Did we get the press that we're trying to get? Did we do those kind of things? I mean, we have a whole different set of metrics kind of on the PR side, but I think, overall, I thought it was a very healthy show. I thought it was a very healthy show, a very vibrant show. It was very busy. I was tripping over people right and left, so there was lots of people there in my way, I got to say. I interviewed a bunch of cool companies. I always kind of look for people, like I said, who kind of catch my eye. And the first one up is a really cool little device that helps people get their cables organized, and just very, just great thinking going on as it relates to this device. So let's hear a little bit from Cable Wrangler. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk Media. I'm here with Jason Kammer, who's with Cable Wrangler down here at the NAMM Show 2020. So, Jason, what do you guys have going on with your Cable Wrangler?
Well, basically, the Cable Wrangler is an innovative cable management system utilizing 12 custom-engineered bungee balls in a specially designed handle that will keep your cables organized, secure, separated, and more importantly, untangled and off the floor. Cable Wrangler is available for $29 retail at CableWrangler.com.
Fantastic. And congratulations. It looks like you just won a tech award here at the show.
We are absolutely tickled to death about the tech award and the tech process. We discovered the tech award nomination when we were at Summer NAMM, in fact, just before we took the Best in Show at Summer NAMM. So we were really excited about that. And being such a young company, we've only been in business for a year. This is our second Winter NAMM Show. We're just absolutely humbled at the outpouring of generosity that the NAMM members have shown us here.
Well, fantastic. So my show is all about marketing and branding. And so how are you guys spreading the word about this fantastic, innovative product?
Obviously, we spend a great deal of time and effort on social media, Facebook, Instagram. But lately, we've also been spending a great deal of our time with Upbeat Daily and Music Inc. magazines also that have been, we've seen a considerable uptick in our sales with the response to those.
Fantastic. And, what else do you guys have, coming from Cable Wrangler? What's the future look like for you guys?
Well, we actually have a new model in the prototype phase right now that we're hoping to begin construction on within the next 6 months or so. And basically, our standard cable wrangler that we have for sale now holds 12 cables. The new one we expect to hold 6. It will be a half size, a little bit easier to manage for the bar band kind of guy, the people that are gigging on the weekends that maybe don't have to haul around cables for an entire band, just themselves.
Yeah, that's really cool. My band could definitely use this, and we're going to be looking into getting one of these as well. Well, you've been listening to Jason Kammer from Cable Wrangler. Thanks very much for your time, Jason. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, Scott. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thanks very much. Signing off for NAMM. Yeah, neat product. Make sure you go check that one out. Next up, we got a cool company, Rainsong, who makes graphite guitars, and they always talk about being waterproof acoustic guitars and humidity-proof acoustic guitars. But they have kind of a new take on it this year. They were showing down in Hall E. They were showing what they're doing with their graphite acoustic guitars. Here comes Rainsong. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win, and I'm here with Dave Corum with Rainsong Graphite Guitars. They've got some new stuff at NAMM 2020. Dave, what do you got for us?
So most of our customers are familiar with our carbon fiber guitars, and we've kind of added a twist to it this year. So we've taken a thin spruce soundboard and fused that to a unidirectional carbon fiber soundboard. So it looks like a traditional acoustic guitar, but it has all the benefits of being a Rainsong and the carbon fiber. So completely impervious to temperature and humidity changes, crystal clear tone. It's a guitar you can actually sit on a stand next to your fireplace year-round, and it will sound and feel the same every day, and it doesn't care about the environment that it's in. It just does its thing.
That's great. And how's the Rainsong brand of guitars doing out there? How are you guys doing these days?
We're doing well. Reaching new people all the time, and with these new guitars, they have a more traditional look. So it opens the door to a whole new market of people that want a guitar that looks like what they think an acoustic guitar should look like, but is completely impervious to whatever can happen to it. And it's just great sounding guitar. It feels great, looks great.
Fantastic. And how are you guys, my show's about marketing and branding, so how are you guys getting the word out about these new Rainsong guitars that look more like traditional guitars? How are you getting the word out on that?
We're shooting a couple different videos and then putting those up on Facebook, on our website, and we're working with some other guys that do online reviews that are familiar with our guitars and working that way. And they're available through Rainsong dealers all across the country.
Great. So your dealers are out there helping spread the word as well.
Yeah, so if you want to know where to find one, you can go to rainsong.com and go to our dealer list, and we have them all over the country.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you guys have been listening to Dave with Rainsong Graphite Guitars. Wish you all the best with the new models, Dave, and thanks for spending time with us today on the show.
Thank you very much, and thanks for coming by.
Awesome. Definitely encourage you to check out everything over at Rainsong's website. Next one up is a really cool guitar hanger with a light attached called Music Light right here in Oceanside, California. Music Light, coming your way. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win. I'm here with Alan and Music Light. Alan, what do you guys have at the 2020 NAMM Show for us?
Well, what we have is a new Music Light wall hanger, guitar wall hanger bracket, and what that bracket does is it displays your guitar rather than just hold it on the wall. The industry was looking for something that would display a guitar better than just holding it on the wall, so we developed the Music Light bracket, which illuminates with ambient lighting behind your guitar with LED light, and it makes a beautiful display so you can present your guitar rather than just holding it on the wall.
That's very awesome. And you can, and it comes in different colors, is that right?
It comes in different colors. It's available in red, white, green, and blue. Blue is absolutely beautiful. It's the most popular color. Blue and white are the most popular colors, but they're all beautiful. I mean, LEDs are beautiful anyway, and so it's available in red, yellow, green, and blue. Fantastic. And obviously the response has been huge. You guys just won a Best in Show award today. Congratulations. How's the response been at your show here? It's been fantastic. You know, what's really neat is we were here at NAMM last year, And we got very positive response from it last year, but nothing like this year. Now that people are seeing us for the second time, it's overwhelming, the response that we've gotten.
Awesome. And my show is all about marketing and branding in the music products industry. So how are you guys spreading the word about this really innovative product that you got?
Well, a lot of it through social media. It's also available in Guitar Center and on Musician's Friend. We market it online. It's available at musiclight.com, and music is with a Z, so it's MUZICLIGHT.com. So most of our marketing is all through social media.
Wonderful. And that's working for you pretty well, it seems like.
It is working very well, yeah. It is. We're growing every day.
Awesome. Well, fantastic. You guys have been listening to Alan from Music Light. Make sure you go check out their product. And thanks very much for the time. Appreciate it, Alan.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Very cool company. And as I mentioned, they make those right there in Oceanside, California, right down the road from right between myself and Paul B right now. Next up is Vanguard Audio Labs. Let's check in with Derek and see what they're up to for NAMM. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win. I'm here at NAMM 2020. I'm here with Derek from Vanguard Audio Labs. So, Derek, what do you guys have new at the NAMM Show this year?
Well, this year we don't have anything new. Original takes time. We're still working on the thing we showed last year, which is our V7. It's a multi-pattern, multi-capsule large diaphragm condenser with several different capsule styles and voicings.
Fantastic. And it looks like you guys were active in the Tech Awards as well. You were a nominee. Congratulations. That's awesome. And what are you guys doing to spread the word about your capsule microphones this year?
Well, it's interesting because print ads, for the most part, are not the bang for the buck they once were. So really our biggest thing is engaging on a customer-to-business level. So on Instagram, on Facebook, now on TikTok, we're just doing... The thing about me is it's just me. There is no brand personality. It's just me goofing off on the internet and telling bad dad jokes and stuff like that and getting groans. But it's really just about interacting with customers and telling them. I think now with social media, you have such a platform to engage people in a one-on-one level. And even, at 11 o'clock at night, somebody messages me about the mics and I'm in bed watching Netflix. And I'll start talking to them about our mics. And I'm going to treat them the same way I'd treat a rep from Sweetwater or Vintage King or Guitar Center or a big artist. To me, what matters is that there's people out there making good music with our microphones. So I talk to them about what they do, how we can help them, and give them the tools to create better.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And where can people find out more about your microphones, my audience listening to this?
So it's VanguardAudiolabs.com, or you can follow us for really terrible original memes at Vanguard Audio Labs on Instagram is our biggest platform. But we're also at Vanguard Audio Labs on TikTok and Facebook. Very,
very cool. That's Vanguard Audio Labs you guys were listening to. Come on back. We're going to talk about who's winning and losing this week in marketing and communications.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Entertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on EntertalkRadio.com.
May the best brand win with Scott Robertson's Music Biz Marketing Strategies. Now, here's your host, Scott Robertson.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. You are smart because you are listening to May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk Media, the undisputed leader in music biz talk. I am Scott, your host. We're talking about the NAMM Show in this episode today. Paul was at the NAMM Show. Paul was working hard. How was your NAMM Show experience, Paul?
It was actually pretty good. Not as crazy as some of the previous years. It's getting pretty intense, but this time we're kind of pacing and not biting off more than we could chew. It was pretty good. I still didn't get a whole lot of time to walk the floor and check stuff out. Maybe for on Sunday a little bit for an hour. That's about it.
Yeah, right on. You guys were holding down the fort at the Artesia Pro booth with that stage you had going. You had a lot of acts going up and down the stage. It was nice.
we had the place packed out pretty much every day. It was fun.
Gotta love that. Very cool. Well, let's dig into who's winning and losing outside the music industry. First of all, the U.S. economy went huge, big-time winning. Fourth quarter growth of 2.1% reflected a big boost in trade as exports increased, and the pace of consumer spending is still very solid. The U.S. economy headed into 2020 on very solid footing, with growth settling back to about 2% pace that has been the case. Gross domestic product grew 2.3% last year. I mean, it's all kinds of good economic news. Unemployment is at a 49-year low, which sounds insane when you say it, but that's the truth. And the statistics, I mean, as a marketer, if you ever had a reason to be excited, consumer spending is high. The economy is very, very strong. Everything is pretty positive, and you usually don't see that in an election year. In an election year, with a lot of people come out and they, candidates have to talk about how bad things are, and then all that negative news tends to stop people from spending, and it kind of kills consumer spending traditionally. But not so far, and I think it's also because I think that the White House does a pretty good job of always being a cheerleader for the economy, and really not letting people, dwell too long on too much negative news. And I think that's a smart strategy, by the way. I've always said that's what the White House should be doing, no matter who's in it. So, anywho, positive. Economy's winning. America winning. Kellogg's is losing. They made an announcement this week that they were going to phase out glyphosate by 2025. So basically, they set a goal of phasing out the controversial weed killer glyphosate from its supply chain. I don't know why a weed killer would be in cornflakes and Pop-Tarts and other breakfast products, but apparently somebody decided that would, they used the herbicide as a drying agent a few weeks before harvest on wheats and oats. But of course, it's really bad and causes a lot of problems, and they're going to phase it out as a pre-harvest drying agent in our wheat and oat supply by 2025. Now, here's the problem. When you announce that you have a hazardous chemical that you're using to dry the food in your supply chain, we have glyphosate, and then you say we're going to phase it out by 2025. What year is it now? Is it 2025? No. So what would you think the reaction of your consumer might be if you announce that you have something horrible in your food and you're going, but hey, you're going to have it completely phased out by 2025? We don't care about 2025. We're like, what the hell's the matter with you? Why is this in your supply chain in the first place? And why in the hell do I have to wait till 2025 to be free of it? Really bad announcement. Just a little PR 101 for you right here. Much better to not make a big deal out of this, not push this hard, and I mean, you want to be transparent and honest about it, but you don't want to go out and say, look at us, we're going to phase this out by 2025, because you run a huge risk of everybody in the store this week looking at all the Kellogg's products going, I think there's a lot of bad crap in this. I think I'm going to pass. I think I'm going to move right on to, I think I'm going to have bananas this week. I'm going to just go with some fresh fruit, that kind of thing. So, I mean, good for them for doing it and that kind of thing. But the news media were not kind to this announcement. Social media was not kind to this announcement. And that's because it's a really stupid announcement. Because when you announce that you have something bad in your supply chain and you're not going to have it out till 2025, you basically give consumers permission not to buy your crap till 2025 when you have it sorted out, right? Stupid, really amateur night. And Kellogg's, man, you guys should do better. I mean, you guys should know better. You should be doing better. That's just dumb. So all kinds of losing going on there. Speaking of losing, I read this story and it made me laugh on Gizmodo. So apparently, I'm trying to see how I can explain this. So a friend, let me see if I can say this. As BuzzFeed first reported, for 8 years, this lady, Samantha Ray Anna Jefferson, was haunted by an unofficial location page marked Samantha Ray Anna Jefferson's butthole with a location pin near her high school home. Right? And the entry was created when she was 15 by some unknown person as an unofficial page. It was generated by user interest, but it lurks at the top of her Google search results. And this story details the incredible nightmare it can be when somebody creates a page like that as you're in high school, it's a harmless prank, that kind of thing. And it's followed this poor lady around. And anytime anybody Googles her, they get this. And it made me laugh. I was like, to me, it's a losing story kind of for Facebook, because they're kind of inattentive to numerous requests for people to try to correct things like this. And there's a lot of stories like that. Facebook basically, they ignored the consumer's request, but check this out. So Facebook, Gizmodo was reporting this. They contacted Facebook and said, we'd like to get a comment on why this woman's Facebook page that details the location of her butthole is why this is here, and Facebook. So Gizmodo asked for a link to the page, that kind of thing. And shortly after which the page was mysteriously removed, and Facebook said they will update us with more details on the case. So it looks like, Gizmodo was able to make it happen by getting to the PR person. They probably went down to IT and said, okay, so how do we shut all this action down? So anyway, I think it's a losing story for Facebook. It shows a lot of inattention, and I think but it's a funny story. I encourage you to read the whole thing over at Gizmodo. It's really complicated story. So go check it out. Let's talk about the coronavirus. Okay, so it's a U.S. health emergency. It's a national health emergency, the coronavirus. So Corona Beer issued a statement, and they said that they don't think consumers are confusing its brand with the coronavirus. After news began to circulate that consumers have associated Corona, the beer, with the coronavirus outbreak in China, the beer brand says it's confident the public is not confusing the product with the potentially deadly disease. Although people are on Twitter doing search terms like Corona beer virus, and beer virus have spiked in the United States over the past few weeks, and spiked a lot this week too. I saw. So interesting. If you're Corona, the brand, I mean, you could lean into it. You could lean. I mean, you could lean into it and kind of make and have fun with it. Or you could categorically deny any association and that kind of thing. It's an interesting approach that kind of they're taking, but anyway, it's I don't know if it's. I think it's probably losing right now because you don't want your beer to be associated with the deadly virus, and you certainly don't want search terms coming up. People calling it the beer virus and things like that, because then people could easily go, "Oh, well, drinking beer makes you sick," or I mean, people are stupid, man. There's a lot of stupid people in the world. They could very, very easily misconstrue this and go, "Oh yeah, drinking the beer, that's how you get the virus." I mean, believe me, I know that sounds stupid, but there are people out there. There is a label on your lawnmower that says, "Do not pick up and use as a hedge clipper." Do not reach under, grab the lawnmower, pick it up, and use it while it's running as a hedge clipper. Do you know why that label is there? I met the technical writer who wrote it and is responsible for it. And he said there's some idiot grabbed their lawnmower while it was running, and reached their hands under where the blades were spinning and picked it up and tried to trim a hedge with it. Now that doesn't work out if you want to have two hands for the rest of your life. That's not going to be anything that works out for you. And like I said, for every label that you see that's like, you're like, God, that's really stupid. That's really stupid. There is some idiot that did it, and then a court case, about it, resulting in the communication that you're now reading. So anyway, Corona kind of losing. Need to probably get in front of it. Like I said, if it was my brand, I would be leaning into it a little bit and trying to have a little. I mean, if you can't have fun with a potentially deadly virus outbreak affecting the world, what can you have fun with? Honestly, I mean, like I said, I'd lean towards it. See what you could make out of it. Oh man, the world is losing because we lost Kobe Bryant. What a shocking and just horrific news story on Sunday that just really interrupted everybody's world. He made such an impact in the world, this guy. And, such a great guy, such an inspiration. From a marketing and communications standpoint, there's a story on CNN that talks about the business empire that he left behind that really stretched, far beyond the basketball court. He was really known as being a huge brand builder, an investor, a coach to other athletes, company founders, things like that. Really, a young guy, as you see, he died, this past Sunday at the age of 41. Kobe Bryant was known for winning, right? Right. He was known for working harder, outworking everybody, and just beating the crap out of them because he could outwork it. If you watched his last basketball game, where he scored 60 points, you're like, it doesn't even look like anybody else is on the court with him. He was that good. He is, he was that good in basketball, and he had such an iron will, the world is going to be missing him for some time to come. Nike is actually, ironically kind of winning because of his demise, because all the Kobe Bryant related merchandise from Nike has really been has sold out. There's been a huge run on jerseys, shoes, T-shirts. A spokesperson confirmed to CBS Money Watch on Tuesday. A Nike spokesman couldn't say when Bryant merchandise would be available online again, but everything is sold out, which is something that sort of happens sometimes. When these tragedies happen. So anyway, but Nike is certainly winning because of it. Let's move on to Meg Whitman, the CEO of a company called Quibi. So she apologized for recent statements that she made where she compared journalists to sexual predators. And she said those remarks did not convey her true feelings about the press. She says, I used an analogy that was inappropriate and just plain wrong. None of us are perfect. I didn't intend it, and that's now how I think, feel, that kind of. She apologized. But she compared the way that journalists cultivate sources to the tactics used by child predators to groom victims at a meeting at the company. And, that's not something that you want to say. And public relations is sort of about building relationships with the very few amount of working journalists that are still out there working in the world. You probably don't want to compare them to sexual predators as a rule. I think that is just probably good PR advice. And even if you apologize, the journalists are going to be like, well, obviously she doesn't think very highly of us, if her mind is comparing us to, pretty much the worst criminals on the planet. So that's all kinds of losing, and that's all kinds of losing for years to come for her and her PR team trying to book meetings with journalists. And because journalists will just be like, well, we just won't cover your stinky little company. We just won't cover you anymore, that kind of thing. And they'll just turn the page on you. That will happen. Can we talk about TikTok? Oh, man, TikTok. So, TikTok's this booming social media platform. It is owned by who, class? China. Right on. So a pro-life organization, Live Action, announced Friday that it had been permanently banned from the popular social media platform TikTok due to quote-unquote multiple community guideline violations after it appealed the unspecified removal of a video it posted. So it's 21,000 followers. It's the largest pro-life following on TikTok. And it basically, the Chinese government through TikTok came back and said that it was human error as to why this was removed and that sort of thing. And they apologized and since have restored their access to all of their followers. I'm just going to use this moment to just give you a quick thing on TikTok. I know everybody's into it. I know everybody likes it. You like being able to share the videos. The kids like it and that kind of thing. Watch out for this one. Watch out for your brand on TikTok. It is owned by a different government than you're used to dealing with. It is owned by China. They don't share our value system, right? They don't share our courts. They don't share our value system. They don't watch intellectual property. They don't see intellectual property the same way. All of those kind of things. For all of those reasons, as I've said many times on this show, a whole heaping tablespoon of caution if you're going to dig into TikTok. Be careful as a user what information that you put on it. Be really careful as a company what information you put on it. The U.S. government is, could very easily just announce that we're blocking access to this thing, right? We don't know what the Chinese government's doing with the data. There's no way in hell that we trust the Chinese government for what they're doing with the data. Do you trust China with your data? Come on. Really? All kinds of losing going on and all kinds of caution when using TikTok. But you guys are smart because you're listening to May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk. Come on back. I'm going to give you a few more NAMM interviews, and we're going to wrap it up. We'll see you in a few.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Entertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. pitbullaudio.com.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on EntertalkRadio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
May the best brand win with Scott Robertson's Music Biz Marketing Strategies. Now, here's your host, Scott Robertson.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. You were tuned to May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk Media, the undisputed leader in music biz talk. I am Scott, your host, and a man that just did the winning and losing cavalcade of stuff. Paul B., what did you think of winning and losing this week? Who'd you like?
I didn't like any of them. This is a shitty week.
It's a bad week.
It's a bad week.
Oh man, there's some good stories in there though. How about the lady whose butthole got listed as a actual destination?
I guess that's winning. There's a silver lining.
Yeah. You have to read that story, dude. You would not believe how much there is to that story.
I gotta look that up.
I couldn't quite do it. It's on Gizmodo. So awesome.
Maybe we can get a jump on this and develop an app like a Airbnb hole.
Now it's just turned into a group brainstorm session. Yeah. Now we're like, yes, wait, I could see it.
I think that's a good idea.
Well, let's dig into some more NAMM interviews. So right before the break, we were listening to Vanguard Audio Labs. I want to encourage you to check out VanguardAudiolabs.com. Their capsule microphones are really, really good. They really know how to make high quality products, that capture sound really, really well. And like I said, they were nominated for a Tech Award as well this year. So anyway, congrats to them, and thanks to Derek for being on the show. And make sure you, like I said, check out them. Their capsule microphones are awesome. All right, let's see. So my next one up, it's a company called the company's called Utility Design, but their product was called Vidami, and really an interesting problem that they solve. And so I'll let them tell you all about it. Here you go. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win. I'm here with Austin Jones, and we're looking at the Vidami device that they're launching here at NAMM 2020. So, Austin, thanks for being on the show. What do you guys have here at NAMM?
So we're introducing the UD Vidami. We had a previous pedal that came out about a year ago called the UD Rep, and this is kind of the second generation of that pedal. And it's a video looping and control pedal. So it lets you practice hands-free and control YouTube and Vimeo videos without having to take your hands off the instrument, and it just saves you a ton of time when you're just practicing those hard licks and trying to dial it in. Yeah.
Awesome. Is it? And you're just introducing this at the show. What's the response been like for you?
It's been really good. Yeah, we have a lot of people that are excited about it. Basically, anyone who comes over and tries it, they're super excited because they see how useful it is to just be able to control everything with your feet and save that time and have like a more efficient practice session. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. And my show is all about marketing and branding in the music industry. How are you guys spreading the word about this product to dealers and to musicians out there, just really to the world?
So currently we have our website that we've been selling off of for the past couple months, and NAMM is kind of our first big kind of introduction to a lot of distributors. So we've been talking to a few people, and it's been a good response from distributors. And yeah, currently, like, besides the website, we've been talking to influencers on YouTube. So like Steve Stein and Marty Music and a few others have done videos for us. So that's been getting a really good response because it gets it out to a lot of guitar students that are learning on YouTube, which is what we're marketing towards. Yeah.
Fantastic. There was just a big article in USA Today about how the guitar heroes of today are all on YouTube. So I imagine you guys are capitalizing on that trend pretty heavily.
Yeah, it's really cool because for me and my brothers, we all grew up learning on YouTube and without like live teachers, and that in the last few years has become a really popular thing too. So we're seeing like people like Steve Stein and Marty Music. They have hundreds of thousands, millions of people that they're teaching online. And so that's just a big market that we're trying to capitalize on. Yeah.
Fantastic. Where can my audience find out more about this pedal?
So you can go to utility.design. That's our website. And you can check out all the information for the new UD Vidami right there.
All right. Well, you guys have been listening to Austin Jones from Utility Design. And you heard it here. Go check out the pedal. And that's it from NAMM. Thanks very much, Austin. Appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Very, very cool. Yeah, that's a cool product. That video looper for YouTube is interesting. It's obviously if you get have your hands on the instrument, it's good to be able to kind of play and loop and do all that kind of stuff with your feet. It's a neat little foot switch that allows you to do that with YouTube educational videos. So anyway, pretty cool. Definitely go check that out. That was one of the neat things I saw at NAMM. Next up is a really cool new keyboard, kind of microtonal keyboard that has a bunch of little hexagonal, keys that are multicolored and stuff. At every NAMM show, they always try to kind of improve upon the traditional, piano keyboard. And I don't know, people keep coming back to the piano keyboard, but this is an interesting way to look at it. It's by a company called Lumitone. And they, I believe this was their first or second show. I found them down in Hall E. But go ahead and have a listen to what Lumitone's got going on. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win, and I'm here with Leith from Lumitone. And they are introducing something really interesting here at the NAMM 2020. So, Leith, what do you guys have over here at Lumitone?
We have a programmable isomorphic MIDI controller. And it can be mapped out many different ways, but you can go to outer space with it if you want, or you can stay within the box. For instance, you can map it like a piano, 12 notes per octave, and you can play it as such, or you can map it, any custom idea that you have can be mapped on this device.
Very, very cool. So I'm looking at it, and it's a bunch of kind of hexagonal kind of keys that light up on kind of what looks like an Apple keyboard, and they're all kind of like stacked together. What an interesting way to do a MIDI controller. What led you to come with this type of design?
Well, with this design, you don't have to be theory based. You can also be shape based. Any interval you have can be transported across the keyboard, and it will remain that interval. So you can play it up, down, sideways, reverse, any way you'd like to approach it.
Nice. And who primarily do you see this instrument being for?
Well, someone like me who's a traditional sort of keyboard player, I can play anything I want to on it because it is velocity sensing and it's laid out in a way that it's intuitive. Or any of the notes can be switched to be continuous controllers with MIDI. So you can set any parameter you want to any note, and you can switch the colors too, so you have visual guides. So it can be set up for playing, for controlling, or for a mix of both.
Wonderful. And you guys are launching here at NAMM 2020, but you're going to do some fundraising, it sounds like, in the first quarter. Tell me about that. You're launching on Indiegogo, right?
That's correct. We're going to do a limited run of 200, and then we're going to go from there. And there's early bird incentives for people who want to get in right off the bat. There's some heavy discounts that can be applied.
Fantastic. And so where can people find out more about Lumitone?
We can go on the Lumitone website and through lumitone.io, and through that you can have access to videos about the product, info about the product, and links to the campaign.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we'll be looking for that, especially now. My show is about marketing and branding. How are you guys spreading the word about Lumitone?
Through many different social media platforms, and we actually were part of the media day at the beginning of NAMM this weekend, which was really a fun experience for us and a great way to introduce the product to all sides of the industry.
Great. Did you get good feedback from the press?
We did, yes, absolutely. It's a different approach to playing, but it's a fun one and an intuitive one at that.
Wonderful. Well, you guys have been listening with Leith from Lumitone. Thanks very much for your time, Leith. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Very, very cool. That's a cool product. If you experiment with MIDI and different types of keyboard controllers, I think that one would be worth your while to try it out, check it out, see what they've got going on. It was I played it for a while, and it was it's really interesting. It's definitely a different way to kind of express yourself. Next up, we got one of my clients, Voco Pro. And they had a lot of new products going on at the show, and I'll let them tell you all about it. Here we go. Hey, it's Scott with May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk, and I'm here with Keenan from one of my clients, Voco Pro. They have some interesting innovations here at the NAMM Show. Keenan, what do you guys have this year for us?
So the big item that we have this year is called the Streamer. It's a pretty much all-in-one interface for streamers, vloggers, podcasters, anything like that.
Fantastic. And what's included with the package?
So we have two packages right now. One comes with just the interface and a very nice condenser microphone. And then we have another package for just a little bit more that comes with a stand with dual phone holders for streaming or recording, and as well as a light ring.
Fantastic. And what's been the response to the streamer products here at the NAMM Show?
It's been a really big eye-catcher at this NAMM Show. Every single person that's walked by our booth has stopped to take a look at it. They've been really interested in it. It's got a lot of features built in, and also pre-recorded sound effects built in.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what are you guys doing to spread the word about all of Voco Pro's products these days?
That's a good question. Sorry, you threw me for that one.
Yeah, no worries. My show is all about marketing and branding, so what are you guys doing to spread the word?
Well, we're talking to nice folks like you who are interested in our products and want to get the word out about some interesting new gear that we have that we're showcasing this year.
Fantastic, great. Well, you guys have been listening to Keenan, and for all these, check out all these cool Voco Pro products. What's the website, Keenan?
Website is vocopro.com. Go ahead and view all of our products there, and then if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to give us a ring or email us.
Wonderful. All right, thanks very much for your time, Keenan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Voco Pro is a cool client, cool company. They come up with some really innovative stuff. Every time I meet with Voco Pro, they have something that kind of blows me away. And if you're not blown away even by the technology, you will be blown away by the price point of what they of what they come to market with, and how high quality things are, yet at such a affordable price. I mean, they really have that mastered very, very well. For example, they have a whole podcasting streaming setup, that's coming out that is only about $200. And it includes an interface and a microphone and a stand and a place where you can lock in your phone and hook up everything that you need, including a light ring around it that gives the right light and everything for $200. I mean, it's insane. And they're always like that. One of the things that we did with them, I got their microphone pop-up Oki as an audience giveaway on the Kelly Clarkson Show. And the Kelly Clarkson Show liked it so much, they put the microphones, which are really kind of cool, and they light up and stuff. They put those mics in the green room for the show. And so now every celebrity that goes through there on their Instagram takes a picture of them with the microphone. Hey, I'm backstage waiting to talk to Kelly, and this kind of thing. And I mean, it's just huge. It's just, just that one little relationship with the Kelly Clarkson Show. And it just it causes them to sell tons of microphones, and they're certainly very happy about that. So anyway, check out everything from Voco Pro. They always have really, really good stuff, and like I said, really great prices as well. And the last one I ran into at the show was a company called Jewel, and they take something that is sort of an ordinary item and do some pretty cool stuff with it, honestly. So here you go. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk, and I'm here with Harp from Jewel, and they claim to have the coolest power strip ever. Harp, tell me about the coolest power strip ever.
Well, and we can prove it too. So if you're going to call it the coolest, you got to make it look like the coolest. So we took the everyday power strip. It's always comes in beige or gray. It's very uninspired, and you hide them because you're embarrassed to leave them out in public. So we wanted to make something that looks great out on display, so we gave it an anodized aluminum, laser engraving, some really cool colors, and the shape that just looks great in any decor. Secondly, we wanted to give it some great features because you just don't want to just be a pretty face. So we have put lights on the outlets so they all light up so you can find an outlet in the dark. We gave it an interchangeable power cable. It comes with a 4-foot in the box. You can buy a separate 8-foot cable if you need longer extension. We're going to offer a 2-foot and a 16-foot cable this year also. We gave it a third setting on the power switch to eliminate something called standby power draw, which wastes up to 10% of your electric bill on stuff that's plugged in but turned off. So the third setting, the lights inside the unit are off, the 110 outlets are off, but the USB ports are still giving you juice. And both USB ports are 2.1 amps, so that's dual. And just rounded up with great looks, a great big non-skid pad on the bottom, so that when you put it down, it kind of stays put. For safety, it is UL rated, so we got a ETL certification. So it's been tested and blown up and everything, and we know it's a safe product. And finally, it comes with a 490 joules surge protection to keep everything running smoothly.
Beautiful. And how are you guys spreading the word about this very cool power strip?
You can follow us on social media. Our handles is Hello Jewel, Joule, and that's also our website, hellojewel.com. And other than that, we're just getting the word out on social media and digital marketing, and hope to gain some following and build a brand.
Great. And the NAMM Show's been good for you.
NAMM Show's been great because it's not something we originally thought of, but then we had a music producer buy 8 of these because he wanted to put them in the studio for all his clientele that comes in. The first thing they want to do is plug stuff in. It's always dark in the studio, so the lights help with that. So then made it a light bulb moment, okay, maybe we should look at the music industry, and we pulled together the show in about 4 or 5 days, and here we are. So far, the response has been great. People have put in a bunch of orders that we're going to ship out tomorrow.
Wonderful. You guys have been listening to Harp from Jewel. Wish you all the best, Harp. Thanks very much for spending some time with us on the show.
You got it. Thank you, Scott. Thanks for stopping by.
Very, very cool. The coolest power strip in the world. Definitely go check that out as well. I thought it was pretty cool, got to say. And a lot of neat things that they had thought of, that most power strips are like, well, I don't know. So what have we learned, folks? We learned that the musical wheel in the sky keeps on turning, and lots of companies, new and old, are ready to make their mark in the music products industry in 2020. The marketing choices they make can determine whether the new ideas are going to make it to market and be loved by musicians, or just remain an idea that they once showed off at a big music trade show. And, marketing is a big deal. So choosing the right words, the right messages, and the right channels, can really, really make all the difference in the world. It was a good show. It was a big show. I encourage you to, add it to your calendar next year if you at all do any work in the music industry, and you'll be enjoying it as well. That's it for me, folks. I'll be back next week with a brand new show, and until then, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Entertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Hi, Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear. Really, though, it's my ability to bring tracks to life and fulfill your vision for your music. This has made me sought after by producers and artists worldwide. So spend your time working on music and not chasing a mix down a rabbit hole. Go to timdolbear.com and check out our free one-song mix offer.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al DiMeola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?